What's happening, chess fans? Welcome to Net Chess and Chill. Today is episode number 111 of my Rapid Rating Climb series, and we are on a journey to 1000 ELO. So, if you guys enjoy my content, please like and subscribe. Go follow me on Twitch if you guys would like to watch me stream on weekends. And without further ado, let's get into today's game. Alright, we can turn some tunes on. Let's see who we're playing today. Let's see who we got today. Taking a little longer than expected to get into the game. That's okay. Whew. So, it's Friday. Friday chess. Man, this is taking me a little bit to get into the game. Alright. For Thancios. Good luck, my friend. We will start with the London system. Alright. So they're already in front of the pawn. I heard from a friend that I should just go c4 when this happens. I think in this position we can just play e3. So the bishop's at home. If I take, more than likely he's going to recapture. He could recapture with the pawn. Bishop's at home, so this queen move is not nearly as potent. So, with that in mind, I think we'll just work on trying to get... I think this knight is not going to go to d2 now. He will probably land on d3. Alright, so I am considering that this might be their next move. So with that in mind, we could play a move like this. And just give our bishop a nice home. I could also just develop and not worry about it. I think we'll just develop. So with that move, I think playing rook over to c1 is a good move. And I think we'll continue developing, and we'll get ready to castle. I have this problem where I'm not the fastest to castle a lot of the times. Like, I'm pretty slow at it. It's kind of obnoxious, so. So he's putting quite the amount of pressure on this. I can take, he recaptures, and then I move forward. I could... If I castle right now, what he's going to do is take, I guess, maybe. I actually don't really know. Or he's forcing me to try and capture with the pawn, which makes my center really strong. So, I don't know if that's actually an inaccuracy or what. But I could also just takes. I need to move my knight then. This pawn is kind of in the way. And then I could castle. But after I do this, he could take. Or he could take with check, which wouldn't bother me. I think that's a clean way to go. I also don't think that me capturing this way is a terrible move, but I don't really want doubled pawns. So I think I'm going to actually take with the bishop and jump my knight in. And I'll probably castle next move. More than likely he's going to take, which, whatever. So maybe it wasn't the most accurate. Maybe it was better for me to do something like that, like to take with the pawn first. But I will be able to push this pawn. Castle just seems pretty obvious. I can also win this pawn on the very next turn if they're not paying attention. So I think that is something I'm planning. Could also think about a move like this in the future. So we'll attack the queen and the bishop with our knight. I don't exactly know where the queen wants to go, but all right. So with that in mind, we'll take with the knight. I can take this as well. I can back the bishop up if needed. I can also play this, and my bishop lives here now. Can just take the pawn. We are up 3 pawns now. I think we can go for trades for sure. I think we go for the queen trade for sure. I mean, all she can really do is back up there. Yeah, so we're up 3 pawns. I mean, should be a winning endgame. We need to make sure we don't blunder. There's lots of time on the clock left. My opponent has plenty of time. Alright, we got our queen trade. We're up pawns, and it feels good. So, I'm assuming he wants to come all the way back here. I think we can just push pawns. I can plant my bishop up here. I can also just threaten the bishop. But I think we should have all pawns on dark squares. So I can't defend with my rook as of yet, but I could threaten the bishop. Alright, so with that in mind, I can actually defend. Can also do something like this. He can have that pawn, that's fine. I'm up quite a few pawns. I think that we can maybe lock the rook in. Could also just kind of start trading. They can get 4 points of material if they do want to actually take that, but I'm planning on just trading everything. So I will be taking. That's a wild move to me. All right. So I think that we want to play a move like this and get our king in. Start getting our king active. Put all of our pawns on dark squares. So if I push this, he can take, or he can just take with the bishop, so we won't be doing that. But I could play... This move might be annoying for him. But then he can come in. So I think we'll play this move. I don't think this was a good move by me. Yeah, I don't think that was a good move. I think we'll play a move like this. I can even bring my rook up here, maybe. Ah. Move our rook over to d1, depending on what he does. We can maybe just work on marching these pawns forward. He's going to give this check again. Let's just work on winning this. Sorry I've been so quiet. I just kind of suck at endgames. This is a lot of thinking for me. So we're completely winning, for sure. So we'll be taking this pawn for sure. Playing a move like this, attacking the bishop, see where the bishop wants to go. All right, the bishop wants to go there. That's fine. We can say bye to the bishop if we want to. So we will be getting in with our king. We'll be winning everything. We'll be pushing pawns. And it should be pretty easy. I didn't play this correctly, so let's see kind of what I missed. I'm sure it was quite a bit of stuff. Funny enough, I know, I remember when this guy's logo was like really popular back when I was like in high school. So we had one mistake and quite a bit of inaccuracy. Played with 79.8% accuracy, so I think we played pretty well. So this was the first inaccuracy. So just backing up apparently is a decent move, and letting this happen, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't have seen that. I wonder if castling is a bad move. Of course not. No, it's fine. So not much changed. I took this, made the game even, like pretty even again. I had quite the advantage at first. Develop the knight, not the best move either. Bringing it back to attack the pawn. I need to remember that idea, because it also breaks this pin. So yeah, I need to remember that. That is a good move, and it's hard to defend this pawn for my opponent. I mean, he doesn't really have a way to do it. He could play this move. That's kind of the only thing he has, and I'm sure there's a way for us to take advantage of that, but yeah. Anyways, so I move my knight. He takes. This is kind of what it is. I castle. He attacks. I decide to take the pawn, threatening his bishop and his queen. He's got to move the queen, so he moves the queen. I take the bishop, which isn't the best move, because this is another fork, so that's actually pretty funny. But this is also just hanging, so I took with the knight on purpose because he was threatening to take my knight, and I like my bishop in this game. My bishop is a beast, and has been a beast. Look at this just wall of greatness that my bishop can just hug the entire way up and down the board. I love it. So he just gives me a pawn. My opponent made a lot of mistakes in this game as well. This wasn't a good move. Taking the free pawn. It's like, oh, you don't want a queen trade? Fine, you lose material. Now, he could do something like this, and I would just take the rook, right? So this is why this is a good move. I've had this happen a few times in my games, and I just don't see the move. So bringing that knight back is definitely one of those moves to attack that pawn, and then this is another move that I need to remember. So I offered the trade quite a few times. He finally takes it. Then he does this number with his bishop. I'm not worried about it. I threaten the bishop again. This was a mistake. So this was a mistake because he can take. Then I have to move my rook, and this pawn is hanging. But let's see why. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's that's so it's exactly what I thought it was. It's a mistake because he's there. So I take here. We are crushing. I mean, soul crushing. I didn't care that he took that pawn. A block here. That's not the best move. Just pushing the pawns. Stockfish is so smart, but I didn't. I wanted to ensure that we get a rook trade, so I didn't really care about his pawn move, but I was like, I'm taking this rook. So we played all right. I'm sure I made a few inaccuracies. Actually, so the king was an inaccuracy. Yeah, duh. While I had this, I needed to do this. So this makes the bishop move off the file. And then I can even, well, actually, the bishop needs to take, actually, right here. I mean, it's straight up just a fork. So I was looking at the move, and I had only a moment to play it, and I missed the opportunity. Yeah, once he gave me the check, I knew that I had the opportunity to play it. He moves his king, and I just didn't play it. I just moved my king again because I was like, I'll just come around this way since he's moving his king, but that's not a good idea. Wasn't the best move. So what was the best to bring my king? Because he's gonna give that check next move. I like it. So we just push the pawn. This is inaccurate as well. Just taking the bishop. King takes. Then I do it. And everything's off the board and I don't have to worry about the bishop anymore. That would have been way better than what I did this entire rest of the game. I mean, I took pawns. I did fine, but taking the bishop is the best move. Like, just no doubt in my mind. I just wanted to ensure that I won the pawn. So, we played pretty well. Played like an 1150 is what it says. And our middle game was our strongest. So, out of the three. Opening, middle game, and end game, our middle game was the strongest. So, cool. We are rated 921. Moving on up in the world. Happy Friday. And if you guys made it this far in the video, thank you very much for watching. And I will see you tomorrow.